It is March 22nd, 9:47 a.m.
Number 3.
Oh, yeah, Adrian did it.
That's what it looks like.
Dude, no way. That woman couldn't do anything like that.
In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you.
A mountain of evidence?
I'm certain there's someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you.
Please, this lawyer. Dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that.
I understand.
That's about time. Yeah, okay.
Mia,
You must get a complete acquittal today.
I know. But I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day.
Indeed. Well, let's get going. Beep, 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 beep.
My ass is ringing. It's him.
What?
This is Wright. I guess I'll do his voice now.
Okay.
Good morning, this is Mr. Attorney, the day of the trial. What accent is this now? Maya, she's
like,
unharmed, right? It's like Mexican?
Kind of Romanian?
Romanian? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how I say, tired. Don't worry, people die that easily. I mean, don't worry, people don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. I'm Romanian now. For my sake, as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. Present? What in the world would you want to give me? You'll figure it out soon once the trial starts, and even you don't like my gift. I expect you graciously accept it and win today's trial contest. If you win, please inform me. Wait. Beep. The kidnapper sent me a present. I like presents.
This lawyer dude, well, who was it?
Your mom. No one. It has nothing to do with you, so forget you heard anything.
Dude, did your nose just get longer?
Shut the fuck up.
It's March still 22nd and it's 10 a.m. Why is there like no one there? Yet, court is now in session for the trial. Fuck that.
They're coming to get you.
Wee woo! Are the prosecution defendants ready? I didn't say PlayStation.
The defense is ready. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, we are in a place. Where's?
It's a wambulance.
It is a wambulance. I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to the Miss Von Karma?
I murdered her. I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me?
Your Honor, please be quiet. Bailiff, court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it? Prosecutor Von Karma has... This morning, Miss Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman. What?
Oh.
What?
Shot.
Is that the gift? Somehow? I think this is the present that man was talking about.
His present.
Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be to your advantage.
This is totally insane. Miss Von Karma, is she alright?
I don't have the answer. She's alive in a stable condition. That's good. Phew. You're... Sag.
I thought he'd show up.
Mm-hmm.
Hi.
I'm here, Your Honor. Due to the circumstances, Mr. Von Karma cannot appear in court today, but I can. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. Dun dun dun! The prosecution is ready, naturally.
Okay.
I stand over here now. Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecutor seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt Engard. The court acknowledges the prosecution. Right.
Left.
I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. He was on a... By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer.
Did he send under waterfalls?
I think so. Now then, the prosecution would likely call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. At least he won't be getting whipped.
Yeah.
Witness, your name and occupation? My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct for now. For now? After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir.
What the fuck? Detective Gumshoe.
The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness! Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Now then, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the first facts of this case, we must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough ride.
Yeah, we have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer is he was struggling for interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth.
Is he gonna marry you?
Bare facts of the
bare
case.
Facts. This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Grita, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into this case of cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. How do you know?
Yeah. I zoned out again.
He also zoned out after the award ceremony ended. The victim was alone in his room? Yes, sir. Both the victim and the defendant was alone to their room, sir. I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't trust that the guitar. I think the guitar has everything to do with.
Yeah. Okay. There's a cat on my screen.
Fuck that cat. Murdered. I mean,
I can't
how
read
do we
that.
How do we know it definitely was murdered though?
Millie!
Millie,
Down!
please.
We believe he was definitely murdered, sir. Okay. The cause of death wasn't that because Mr. Kuro was stabbed in the chest.
Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Okay. Take a hard look at the crime photo. Now, a real pro's attention would be drawn here to his banana?
Banana?
His banana. Bananas. His banana, sir. That's the thing wrapped very tightly around his neck, sir. Was he strangled? Yes, I see. His banana shaped.
Then what about the knife?
It seems to have stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death. So he was a crafty murderer on our hands here.
Caught strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife.
Okay.
Of course, there was something about the guitar case.
I don't know.
We found this. Yeah, about that. And why'd you think that?
Because it was empty, pal. The damn ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. You can't find it anywhere in the scene of crime. Oh, then how about this theory? Fan really wanted the guitar, did the crime to get it? How's that? I mean, no, I've thought about that too, but how do we know? But the only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims. Then it was opened.
Huh?
I see. So how much for my theory then?
Guitar case updated in the court records. And then,
Okay, with that one.
what convinced you it had nothing to do with the case?
The car wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night. Well then, where was it? I'm concerned. The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. That's suspicious. The victim, Juan Kuro, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir. So, you mean he forgot to put his guitar inside the case? Yeah, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have this guitar.
So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel. Holy shit, the wind.
Holy shit, the wind! Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the guitar case after all, because the wind took it. I believe that is enough. Because I'm a little bitch. First, the victim was choked to death with his banana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt and guard? Because there was a reason enough to suspect him.
Here it comes. Looks like Edward's back in full swing.
Very well, Detective Grimfield, please testify about this matter. Yes, sir.
Why arrest him?
Why? Matt Engar and Juan Kuro were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. Not really. As for evidence, there's the Jammin' Ninja's button. It was ripped off. The ninja costume was found in Mr. Engar's himika.
His himika, yes.
Okay. The defendant's favorites were also found the knife. Yeah, because he was eating with it.
Yeah.
The defendant brought the knife for his crime passion, which makes this the premeditated murder.
Primate murder.
So the defendant's fingers were found on the knife.
His fingers were found on it.
Not just fingerprints, but his fingers. It was sort of sticky on. It was sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out very clearly, sir. Add to the courts.
In the Gatewater is engraved.
Delicious. And then there's this button. What was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? Is this button also covered in blood? Yes. You know, the victim of blood. The victim's blood. On it, the victim's blood. Victim.
What?
Jammin' Ninja's button added. Finally. Oh, this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it? Yes, it well certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give it a given yet, right?
I'll find a hole in your argument somehow.
You can press as hard as you like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions.
Ugh.
Okay.
Okay, so... I'm curious about... Where the fuck is it?
Which one? Yeah.
There's no way this was a premeditated murder, even if he brought the knife.
Sorry, pal. This isn't some pocket knife. It isn't full, so it's not great for walking around with either. I mean, I've walked around with those knives, so...
Yeah. Well, this is not good. prosecutor can prove if it was premeditated murder, we're done for.
Phoenix.
Yeah?
There's something very interesting about what the detective just said just now. Think carefully before it's too late.
But covered in victim's blood and a knife with Engard's fingerprints.
Be careful. If the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gravel in the closing.
We're still in for a world of trouble.
Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. So let's find this weakness in the testimony, so no matter how small it may be. Okay, Phoenix?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe... if I present the knife to it... Wait a second.
What?
So the basis of your argument that this was premeditated murder simply is that my client brought a knife beforehand.
That's right, pal. The defendant
did not buy this knife. Take a good look at the handle of this knife and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the great water seal set into the handle. Gatewater, I think I've heard that name somewhere before. God, they're stupid.
That's the name of the hotel, the Gatewater Hotel. The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated.
Well, there's one hole. Yeah, this is very true. This is very big.
Okay.
What is it, Mr. Word? Word.
Squidward.
I'm sorry, but the tone is simply too careless.
What?
I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined.
How so?
I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to relate to this. But I didn't know. The question is, where did this knife come from? Why is that obvious? It come from the victim, Mr. Kreda's room? Question mark? No. Sorry, Your Honor, but this is incorrect. So many teddy bears! The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered, with the being the case. I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table. There's a knife and fork on the table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from? Cats are coming in. If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Matt Engard. Especially what was on top of his table. There's something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife. We investigated the leftover dishes for the fingerprints, and while you were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Engard's knife was missing. Mr. Engard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit to kill some? Of course. And with that, I believe the prosecutor has proven this was a premeditated murder. Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliant and clear discussion.
Yes.
God, discussion. It seems like Mr. Edgeworth has this plan from the very beginning. Of course.
This must be one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it.
A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button from the victim's costume. There's quite a sizable amount of evidence here. I can safely say that any further deliberation is waste of your honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court.
Evidence not yet shown?
He means the evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence. Well, what does the defense has to say about this, right?
Well...
Phoenix. The judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here...
That gavel of his will be ringing out to the sound of our defeat.
Mr. Wright, do you have something important necessary to present to this court?
Well, if I don't, then it's all over, so I'm gonna say I do.
Mm-hmm.
There's one piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something this court has yet to see.
Mr. Wright, I'll say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance, and only one. Dun dun dun. What the judge is saying, right, is don't try to pull one over your usual bluffs here.
If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us.
You may now
I think it's raining.
present one. Only one piece of evidence.
I don't know if it's raining. Okay.
Now then, what is this important evidence that you must show to the court?
God. My whole bar is on the line.
I know. What do we have?
I think it's the wine glass. Because
Okay.
no one's mentioned it yet.
No. This is a wine glass, is it not?
Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more. The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken, his makeup is all over the floor, and then his spaghetti is all over his sweater. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser.
Yeah, see your points.
However, this glass that's sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not yet fallen over with everything else is this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Well, what do you have to say?
Well, yeah, it is a little peculiar.
Yes, isn't it? I thought it was.
You can stop looking at me with these puppy dog eyes of yours now.
No.
Mr. Edgeworth. What is it, Your Honor? Your opinion? You don't need my opinion. Because there's no special theming on to that glass. How do you know?
What?
It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking. I mean, she would have said...
They should have brushed up the prints.
Yeah, they sound very plausible, right, Mr. Wright? Right, Mr. Wright.
Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? I think it's possible, question mark, but there's also... Why would she have... Nah. No. If I appear weak here, the trial's over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instinct when point with certainty.
They just might fall for it if you're thought-provoking enough. Jesus.
The defense would like to challenge the prosecutor's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table.
You turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edward Worth, do you have any proof to back up your claim?
There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing.
Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it.
What?
I'm concerned. You're not thinking hard enough today, right? Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice?
Then...
Of course it has been thoroughly expected for fingerprints.
Fingerprints.
There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass. Only one? Well, whose were they? They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they were one of Adrian Ender's.
What?
That makes... then it... just... This is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Well, we're done here, Mr. Wright.
I can't believe I fell into another trap.
Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Garita. But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser. That what you said makes a lot of sense.
I mean, honestly, any normal person would have just dropped the glass, but okay.
Yeah. Now, what do you see, right? You can't change any part of this, of my scenario as example everything all too well. I've thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I'll show you the answer I have come to discover. Because I'm Batman. Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution have proved enough evidence for me to enter my verdict. Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution is yet another witness we would like the court to hear from.
Another witness?
Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness. What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? Bitches. Oh, yep. It's Wendy.
This is gonna kill my voice.
Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness, your name and occupation, please.
Heh. Gotcha.
Grr.
I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier. Oh, Edgy boy, it's been, what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me.
I saw the reporter with her testimony, but who knew that under that helmet it was a wicked witch of the witness stand?
I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today I'm gonna tell you anything and everything, even though that you don't have to do with that terrible crime.
Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know.
Okay.
Oof.
Shush, I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgy right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps.
Yes, madam. No, please. All by means, interrupt her, please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please.
It's true what they say, that youth are hot-headed nowadays, that I'm... not that I'm mind at all edgy. Now then, what shall I start with?
The witness was on a security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag?
It was a great job being able to see my dear one. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle.
You mean you were a fan of the victim?
Look, everyone is crazy over that and God, since he's saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me, I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in a real man like Juan Corita. Those two were the same age. Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night.
Very well, please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder.
Leave it to me, Edgy Poo.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was a god, Matt God. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
So Mr. Vanguard came out of the victim's room?
See, it has to be him. He's a murderer.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Okay. Are you sure it was him sneaking out of the room? You saw my client. Are you sure about that? Yeah, see, yes siree, whatever I'm saying. Really? And on Brett, what I say, I saw someone, I saw that person. Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into a bit further. What were they wearing? Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail. What a troublesome man you are, really, as if something like that matters. But it does. Now what was it? Oh yes, it was that thing. What thing? That gaudy thing he's always wearing, that racing jacket. He was wearing that at the detention center too. That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons, men. Right. So
Mr. Wright.
But...
Was this testimony just now important or irrelevant anyway?
I think it was, because they said they found that button inside his Akama.
Yeah, and if he wasn't wearing it...
Of course it was important, Your Honor.
I got a bit texting you. This perhaps... You would like to find out what part of that testimony is important?
Don't you see it, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended into her testimony.
I don't quite see where you're going with this, but again... Alright, witness, please.
Ah, well, I don't like to be bad-mouth anyone for that reason, but if I must. He was wearing his flashy racing jacket, honestly, it's just all for show. And then... Where's the present? There it is.
Present.
The present. I think... Was it? Yeah, the button.
Button.
A button. It's a boot. A bootin'. Miss whole bag. That's not my voice. What? Don't say my name for no reason. You know what this is? It's a button. Number 2 on the damn ninja. He's a damn ninja. Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance. Give it here. Give it here. If you don't give it to me, then I'll punish you with this. Wow, she's really a diehard fan without. Do you want a button? No, covered in blood. This button was discovered in Matt Guard's body during full body search. See, this button proves beyond a shadow of doubt it was that rascal and God. It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai hakama pants. See, and then God is nickel samurai. Witness. Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination, but just now, didn't you say the defendant, Matt Guard, was wearing his usual racing jacket? I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the trendiest dress, but instead I have to put up with wearing this ridiculous outfit. Hideous. I got a tape recorder. It's heavy. So heavy. I wish I would have CDs. Dreams. Understand? No. Take a look. A documentary on curling.
Okay. Now hold your tongue still there for 1 second. So what you saw is
Actuality.
actuality, Jesus, was not Mr. Engard, but the man. But Mr. Engard, the Nickel Samurai.
But when you think about it, they're really one and the same anyway. Miss Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about. Edgy Poo, do you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth considering.
Just say it's important and agree with me for a change.
Witness, think carefully. Try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
Alright, if you insist. Should be the one dying, not you. And God, yes, now I remember. Nickel Samurai, that's right, it was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage right after the crime, you know? So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan.
Well, now she's contradicting herself.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume. What? Did you think that there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy, think about such rude things. But that possibility does exist. Youngins, today I told you there's no way it was anyone else.
How do you know that?
'Cause I said so, and what I say is the truth. At least she's just as delightful as a witness as she was a year ago.
That's right, you may cross-examine the witness.
Okay. Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago you said he was wearing his racing jacket, now he's not. Not too long ago. Then, let me ask you this, when you were itty-bitty, what was your grand dream? Huh. What did you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper? My dream, huh? Well, I wanted to be a Judge Wagner, hero of public's court, so what? See? And look what you are now. You're not a Judge Wagner, are you? You are. Well, what I said earlier. Who puts any weight into things like that? But now, as everything, I can't be held responsible for the past. Since when did court become theatrics over testimonies? All that matters is that what was inside the costume. Isn't that enough? Okay. Oh, I got a trophy for that. Okay. But if he was wearing the samurai costume, and there was fingerprints all over it, doesn't he wear gloves when he is in the costume?
Do we have... does he? I think he does.
Is there a... Let me see. Hotel guide map. Yeah, he wears gloves. So, if I present the knife to it... Please take a look at this. Yeah, so it's a knife, big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work. No, that's not my intention at all. Son.
Oh, sorry. I was checking the time. That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct?
Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important in this case?
You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. Is that what you're driving at?
That's exactly what I'm driving at.
What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving in? I was also thinking.
If Mr. Engard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's possible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on the knife right off.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing?
And why would he do something like that? To leave his fingerprints on the murder weapon? I'm going at the speed of sound, I'm driving a car. Vroom vroom. There's no way he would do something like that.
However, there is one possibility I'm also driving very, very fast.
Then let's hear your possibility. Vroom vroom.
Vroom vroom. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in the costume as a Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant also had no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off. I don't know. But the murder still did take place. It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim. Yes, I've heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Miss Edwards' theory?
So let me get this straight. Edwards' theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, to this point, are there any problems with this theory? I'd say there is. This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony.
What are you blabbing about?
Now, for an argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Engard was the killer, if that's the case. I think it's impossible for the killer... I think it's possible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent.
What are we presenting?
I think it's the knife.
Okay.
Okay. Like, oh my god. We're using this knife awful a lot. Also,
We are.
This knife was used by Mr. Engard at dinner.
Yeah, we did establish that.
Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Kurita.
I suppose.
However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant had no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He would, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there would be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. Vroom vroom. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us.
Yeah. Order, I say. Order in the court. Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing?
I think to frame Matt. I mean, I thought that's what we were going for here. It's to frame my client, Mr. Engard, of course.
To frame? Aren't you forcing the internet just a little too hard on this one?
But we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume. And that if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife.
Witness.
Looks like I've made your life a little tiny bit more difficult, huh, Eddie Pooh?
Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai?
Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... Are you saying you mixed up Mr. Ungard with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV? But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around from the front of the doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure. Who turned off the lights? She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. Alright then. Who were you waiting for on then? That's top secret to anyone outside of security.
I have a feeling that you were waiting for Juan Kuro. Am I correct, witness?
Heh heh heh. What do you think? You are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of?
So, Old Bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. So, if she wasn't waiting for Juan, I feel like somebody got her to be there to witness the crime.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Kurita.
Which I thought she would. Maybe the Old Bag was waiting around for that person.
So I think Mia's hinting at it's certainly possible. Miss Old Bag, you're waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? Profiles. I think so.
Who's this person?
This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Ungard's manager.
But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room? It seems that this is the last rumor in the, collusion?
Circulation.
Your Honor? Circulation. I don't know. This is, see.
The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing.
Then this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's Adrian Andrews? Without doubt, the witness thought so as well.
Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn confidentiality stuff.
Witness, what in the world are you? Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling.
Got some information, some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course.
Yeah. But what for?
Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that. Ow. I hit
Secret reasons. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here? I gotta drink. I really don't want to do this, however, I cannot simply let this point slide. I see. Alright, well, let the witness please testify about the secret information.
Get ready. It's going to take the wind out of you youngins. Sure, we're all capable of handling this, really. It's not like we're 10 years old. It's secret.
Secrets.
That and God is one evil, evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing some huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret. You got that? Nobody else but you and me and yet, okay? Okay.
The defendant sent his manager. What a distasteful topic for this court. I mean, it wasn't, but okay, she did.
Yeah, what? Nobody's got about gossip. And isn't there saying the truth is never pleasant? Never heard that one before.
Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews version? We have looked into this matter. We found the truth the article possesses is in fact baseless gossip. But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim.
So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examination with extermination. Be careful, the old bag seems rather excited right now.
That's right, and God is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth.
How do you know?
Well, as the old saying goes, you've got to burn old bags with fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Okay.
Okay, gotta be edgy about it.
Study room for one by causing a scandal.
Okay,
But if it's between me and you and the whole ass fucking court. Wait. What? I'm busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over. Secret information has no one else to know yet. That's true, then how do you know the secret information? Huh, well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drilled a hole in my brain, you'll never find out. How in the world did that old bat get such a secret piece of information? Present evidence. Is she the one who got Lotta's camera?
I wonder.
So no one else is supposed to know the secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Holdbag? Why are you looking at me like that? Stop that. Witness? Hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire your secret info, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
God, I hope this is correct. The investigation photographer Lotta Hart.
Yeah, I hear that, Mr. Beast girl.
She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself.
She reported such a thing?
On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her outrageous impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews. What outrageous ideas, you say? No. I said impressions. Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless? That's it. No, you see, this is some completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy.
Then you are the one who took Miss Hart's note?
I'm a huge fan of Wand, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil and God. She said so herself. And God, I'm his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was checking what she had written. What happened to the music?
I know! It's like crickets.
Edgy Poo, you believe me, don't you?
Ugh.
I'm only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only one piece of paper. I've never written anything, taken anything else before.
You really should come up with a supply of cheese to match with your vintage wine.
Oh my God.
It was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just once. Did he take... What about the camera?
Oh God, I dropped my controller and I skipped what he said. Okay, should I forgive her? I mean...
But what happened to the camera?
Pile on more pressure. What happened to the camera? If I let up now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a defeating blow to this prosecution. Witness. Said the only thing that you stole was that note. Is that correct? Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you knowing brat? I saved this paper from the terrible, lonely trash can, that's all. Liar. You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it. Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again?
Yes.
Miss Oldbag? I don't believe that note is the only thing you stole that night.
You stole my heart.
And my sanity.
Sanity heart.
Miss Oldbag. That note was with a camera inside his case, wasn't it?
A camera?
Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera, saying something. My sweetie, $1,600 camera disappeared on me.
Why, witness?
What is it, Gramps? If you have the note, then it's only logical that you have the camera too. Ugh, looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this camera you're looking for? That's... What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I still eat meals like you, I fall in love and borrow things from people.
I think your definition of borrow is a little off.
I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said, Slapbag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of pictures she had taken. I'm a professional security guard, it's my business to know these things.
Yeah, but could have just asked.
Yeah.
Hey, look. Check this camera's photos. Hurry! You must examine them at once. Yeah, because there might be some information.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have? There's only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case. Please present it to the court. What is it?
Oh.
This is a nickel samurai.
See, I told you that's the guy I saw.
This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. Okay.
Okay. Latest photo out of the court taken. Okay.
What
I'm gonna
does
save. Also, hold on.
save?
Just in case. Okay. Go ahead.
What does all this mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photo by itself does not prove that the person is in it independent, however. In his own confession, Mr. Edgar clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his nickel samurai costume. If that is the case, then this nickel samurai is the defendant. How did it come to this? I think this brings us up to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright? The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree this photo is decisive evidence against your client?
But this photo really is decisive that we're done for. But if I raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put my life in jeopardy. Can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotto took, there's... Well, if I could actually look at it without shit being in the way.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Looks too big.
It looks too big.
Like, is it supposed to be, like... Or, is there something else? Like...
I'm gonna say there has to be something strange with it.
Mm-hmm.
There's something strange with this photo.
I knew this was coming, right? Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we can all agree there is nothing strange with this photo. There is no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a debunker buster. Debunk with a bunker buster. Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright?
Anyway, please look at the photo one more time.
If you really believe you honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, you're correct?
Well...
Jesus.
Find something wrong with this photo. Can't let this chance go by. Where in the hell did this take this from anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts?
Mm-hmm. Well then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo? Where did this photo touch you?
Oh my god. I'm afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Wish I could look at the photo of the actual samurai again.
Yeah.
Touched me right in my lower knee. I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here. I had to use the guide for this one. Because I knew that there was something wrong with the photo.
I know some... I knew it was around there somewhere.
Didn't know
what are you planning to do? His ankles?
If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't. Yeah, because I want to look at the photo real quick. Hold on. Yeah, there
okay,
we
that's
go.
what I thought. I thought it
person's
seemed
height.
to... Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Because I was just like... It looked too long.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
The costume person in this photo could not have been Mr. Guard.
What does the meaning of this? Objection. I wonder if you would care to elaborate with actual facts. That is?
Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. I just did.
I know.
Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama.
His toes. His socks. You can see his socks. Shooks.
Exactly, however, in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his socks. Hakama up just to walk. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time.
That's curious.
Huh? What is?
Edgeworth is unusually calm today.
That's true.
He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride.
I mean, does he know that Maya's in trouble? Along for the ride, what do you mean by that?
I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all.
He doesn't feel under attack, then I haven't managed this case at all. Why are you bending that way to lick yourself?
I'm concerned. Just leave us. If the person in this photo is not Matt Engard, and everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless. I'm meaningless. I'm worthless. I figured it would come to this.
What?
Right. I have something I wanted to ask you. I think you have proven the person inside this costume is not Matt Engard. In that case, who is this photo of?
Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume?
Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What should be focused on is Ezra's attitude, don't you think?
Yeah, why is he so calm?
Yes, you're right. Let's hear your thoughts. Who in the person is this photograph? It's Maya.
God, the only other person that we know of.
Adrian Andrews.
If you want to know who that Nickel Samurai is, it's none other than this woman.
And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her?
For starters, she's short.
Yeah.
She can freely move in and out of Mr. Engard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Engard that night, and Juju has to store everywhere.
How does all that add up, Juju?
Juju. How? Means that makes it easy for her to get certain item.
Yeah.
Certain knife with Mr. Engard's fingerprints all over it.
The fingers. The knife that was used as a murder weapon. Why don't you just say what it is you want, right? What is this you want?
I want candy.
Same.
I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. defense moves to indict Miss Andrews in the murder of Juan. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime. Vroom vroom.
Order. Looks like this trial has hit a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews.
I have never seen that word spelled before.
I have.
I know what it means, but I've never actually seen it spelled.
A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing your testimony. Hearing her testimony.
Alright, this is it.
This is kind of bad for us.
Huh?
Why?
What do you mean?
If Adrian Andrews is summoned to the court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day.
One more day. If I don't get verdict today, then Maya...
Well, now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow.
What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn the court. Get off my phone! I don't have games on my phone for cats.
How do you know?
God, maybe I raise an objection against my cats.
Every day. Now then.
Please, Your Honor, continue the trial. You must pass a verdict today.
I can't do that. We cannot hear Miss Andrews' testimony. What the fuck is that?
Abhor.
Abhor wasting such valued time.
Edgeworth.
Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial. But we cannot continue due to this unexpected development.
Okay, hello.
Unexpected development.
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 Yes.
It's development. Development. I think you underestimate me, Your Honor. Is she in your shoes? What do you mean by that? That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to Phoenix. Adrian and is all happening according to plan. Even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on, the cat's in my ears.
What? What?
Is she here? I'm concerned. What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. I thought so. Of course she is. She's the next witness.
Everything was planned out in advance by the man.
Somehow, I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle's far from over. Exactly. Very well. We will call the next witness the witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take 10 minutes with us. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth.
Oh god, this is gonna be a long trial.
The court will now take a 10-minute recess. It is March 22nd to 14 p.m. Oh god, dude. I can't believe that, Adrian. No way. Not cool. Collect... What? Oh, not cool and collected Adrian Andrews. I thought he was saying something else.
Oh my god. She's your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife he used at dinner was, well, her.
So, after the ceremony, during the break, huh?
That's creepy.
I was sleeping like a log. Dinner time.
See, she could have easily planted that blood-covered button in your hakama.
Because she was the one that came to wake me up? Then, dude, you're saying it really was her?
Yes, she's the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Frida.
But why? I thought she was buds with Juan.
She has her own agenda.
Her own agenda? What are you talking about?
I'm sure you'll see. You'll see by the time this trial's over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of the day.
Get me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze. Okay, Miss Lawyer Dude. I'm concerned. Phoenix. You think her motive is related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right?
Yes. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impacts as her strength and reason to live. Looks like she's just floating.
I know! He looks afraid!
Yeah. He's like, why are you floating? But then Miss Impact suddenly killed herself. It sounds like she left a suicide note and the person thought to have hidden it.
Is Juan Creta the victim of this murder?
And that's why I think... No, I don't think, I think. No. God. And that's why I think that Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Kurita. All to get the suicide note back.
That sounds possible. But one thing bothers me.
What?
Who was it that first told us about their relationship? But I stated, Miss Andrews definitely issues with regards to Miss Impact. Okay. Yeah.
Miss Edgeworth.
It looks like he's still the one in command of the ship. Don't let your guard down yet. It's March 22nd, but it's 2:35 p.m. Court will now
reconvene.
Reconvene! It's also rebonded for you. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please. Persecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Itchy nose. Miss Adrian Orangers, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Creta's room. What is your occupation? I'm the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matt Angard. I see. Now then. Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request. I almost said no requests. Yeah, sure, what is it? I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing. And would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently. No, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossip Land.
The judge was ever a prosecution witness. He'd do all of my work for me.
Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation to the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Kurita. I was always aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. But this was a private matter between Juan and myself. So it was fry and bait matter, or was that bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing. Fishing. But I didn't kill him. No one is accusing you of that. I mean, we are.
Yeah.
I think there's someone who would beg to differ.
It's me.
I'll shake my head to that. I think we will understand relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews. Very well then. Witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. Testimony times.
When I found the body.
It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room, and there was his dead body. I was shocked. In shock. I'm shocked. Jeez. What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice.
What the fuck?
You poured yourself a glass of juice? Yeah, sadly, I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of the crime. And I disturbed a crime scene by moving this one thing. That is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. I see. Oh, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Phoenix. She is one cool and collected customer. She has the brains to match. Brains.
Yes, I know.
In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing. Yeah.
Disrupt her pacing?
She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking. So you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offense is the instant this trial's over, understand? Okay.
Okay.
You kind of have to, like, undermine her, I guess.
It's time for the shows. Okay.
Like, why the fuck would you just leave it there?
I know. You were in shock?
What? Was I not supposed to be?
Miss Andrews is a very calculating person. And despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Kurita.
Anyone read one dead body would be in shock. I don't know, son. You can't surely expect that a young beauty like her would not be shocked.
Somehow I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not.
I see.
Okay.
Was it
I'm
true,
curious.
son?
Oh god, I didn't want to do that. I pressed the wrong button.
Okay.
Doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradictions in her testimony just now.
I warned you earlier that she would not crack so easily. The only way to make her is to
keep on the offensive and not let up.
The only way you're going to catch her is with some very strong, decisive evidence.
I'd find something I have to, for Maya's sake. I wanted to press her on the goddamn juice.
I know.
But I went past it.
Yeah.
Juice?
Juice. Yeah, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I almost said table. I helped myself.
But you didn't drink any of it, did you?
Huh?
There was no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it.
I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it, or thinking.
Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Kurita, you were in great shock. That's when you poured yourself the glass of juice, correct?
And what of it? My mind really was completely blank at the time.
Your mind was a complete blank? I didn't think that was possible for you.
Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing.
What one thing?
Never mind. It's no big deal.
What was she starting to say just now? I wanna know.
Press her.
Press further. Miss Andrews, I'm convinced that as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was.
Actually, so would I. Of course. I'm sorry, it's kind of embarrassing. She'd, like, piss herself? When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over. I think she did it on purpose, but hey. Flower vase. Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? Yes. This mess of glass shards? It was originally on top of the dresser. But when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case.
But there's no shards in the guitar case.
Why did you withhold such important piece of information? I'm sorry, I thought that the crime scene was already in disarray. That people would simply see the vase as just another part of the mess. Looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony. I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else. I don't trust you.
No. I was the one who fell in the guitar case. But there was nothing. Where's the fucking photo at? Where's the photo?
The whole crime photo?
Yeah, the crime photo.
Crime photo.
There's no. If the guitar case was open, there's no glass in there.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Empty.
There is some water, but only on the top lid. And his fingerprints. I still think someone stole the guitar.
Yeah. Testified that you knocked over the flower vase, correct?
Yes.
And are you sure it fell into the guitar case?
Is there some problem with what I said?
It's not some problem, it's a major problem.
Major problems.
It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell into the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside. Vroom vroom, I'm going fast.
I do like her pants, though. That's very true.
Furthermore, there is one other strange thing about this guitar case.
Oh, what is it?
Let's take another look at the crime photo. I just did.
Thanks, Dad.
The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. And what is wrong with that?
What is wrong with that?
If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, yeah. The glass shards should be inside, not outside.
What is your point, Mr. Wright? Mr. Wright, that the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over. Is that all?
No. Think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything at all.
Yeah, that's right. She did imply she didn't touch the guitar case. But the whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. I don't think so. That bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on this case at all.
That may be very well be it's a B. However, the empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case, does it?
Says that there seems to be no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case?
Yes. The empty guitar case.
Suspicious.
I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle.
I can't believe anyone would reach for the straws like this, but it is you.
Why do they keep doubting me?
I know!
I can't believe I'm doing this either.
Because he does some. Alright. I'll follow along with for now. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case. Yes, Your Honor. Guitar case. I don't remember too clearly, because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. There's no fingerprints. It's not a big deal though, right? The case is empty after all. As for I opened the case, even I don't know. because you stole it.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like this story wasn't a very important, very, very, very important point. This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting.
Anyway, let's go ahead and start the cross-examination.
You think any way to change the topic is convenient, save for a weak man.
Shut the fuck up.
Concerned, Edge. Mr. Edgeworth.
Mr. Edgeworth.
I don't.
Curious why she opened it then.
Yeah.
There's no way you were the one who opened the guitar case.
Oh, why would you say that?
It's elementary, my dear.
Oh my god, of course he had to do that.
Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case were those of the victim exactly.
She's wrong. Oh, what is this, Miss Andrews? You shouldn't assume that I must have left Prince, just because I touched the case?
What do you mean?
What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time? Suspicious. Gloves. Why would you be wearing gloves at the time? It was the award ceremony. So of course I dressed up for the occasion.
But she left fingerprints on the glass, though.
No, I remember. I was sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems that witness is wearing gloves at the scene of the crime.
You were wearing gloves? Isn't that a little strange?
Oh, why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time? Yes. She's contradicting herself.
Yeah. I have your proof right here at the wine glass.
The wine glass?
You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange? That you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case?
My glasses. I have new ones. Order a pizza. Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time.
What do you mean?
I believe the guitar case plays a very important role here. Yeah, I've been saying that from the beginning.
But it's just an empty case.
I wonder if it really was empty, though.
But the guitar, the bright red guitar, was at the studio.
Phoenix, drop all of your assumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar. Drugs.
You don't mean it was bright white guitar? Wait, that's not right either.
It'd be unnatural for someone to do that. So the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that on the case. Yeah, Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirect tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us all into his misguided. The music though.
No, Your Honor, please, recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it was wide open in this photo of the crime scene. Sure, this guitar case has some relation to the murder.
If you're so sure, right? Then I'm sure you can somehow sustain your outrageous claims correct. Please enlighten us as to why the guitar case has anything at all to do with this. Can you do that, Mr. Wright? You got the evidence, Mr. Wright?
Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in that case.
Bright red guitar not being the only thing. Yeah, you don't mean suggest that. Black. So you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty? Is that it, right? I'm gonna be edgy.
I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove.
Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now, I'll point at you. Let's have it. What was inside the case at the time of the murder? I almost said insane. What was inside? Do we have? It's not your badge.
I have a thought. It's not my badge, no. I have an idea. I'm just trying to put it together in my head.
Okay, because what are all the evidence do we have? Hungry kitty cat. Got that from my
Hear me out.
Oh, the outfit. This photograph.
Yes, but what is important is what's in the picture, Your Honor.
In this picture?
Doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I am proposing is... inside the card was the hero's very own costume.
Yeah. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Right, are you saying that the witness opened the case to take out a costume? Yes. What insane point would there be to be doing something like that?
That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews?
I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea?
Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who started for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get the shot correct.
You mean this photo? Yes. Hi, cat. Order. ETO. It looks like we're wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we? Nice job, Phoenix.
Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later.
So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume? Wait a second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Matt Ingard's. Why would something of the defendants be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case, of all places. True. That is a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts.
Oh god, no.
What was this Nickel Samurai costume inside the guitar case?
Could have been a spare. I mean, they have spares all the time, right?
I know.
Mr. Ingard needs a drink. And to knock over things, apparently. Mr. Ingard did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we were talking about was a spare one.
What? Then are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel? Yes.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Vroom vroom.
How did you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case? It would mean that the victim himself had brought the spare to the ceremony on purpose. Yeah, because... But why?
Unless what she did was set the guitar out and then put the costume in it at the studio. And since it's heavy, he wouldn't have noticed.
Exactly, that's also what I was thinking too. Or, yeah, the victim, Mr. Kuro, was the Jam Ninja. Why would he secretly be bringing the Ningle Samurai spirit costume with him?
The Ningle.
Nickel. That was very close. What could be the reason behind such a peculiar act? Either he didn't know.
And therein lies the sticking point.
Or he was going to dress up as Nickel Samurai for the award show.
I wonder.
What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sort of inner monologue?
How'd you know? No, I just...
Please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare costume? Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer, and then answer with a gusto. I believe in you.
Alright, that is what I think. This is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was... Hold on, let me think.
Yeah, because I think... Because Matt keeps saying he did not know about this.
Yeah.
Because what else would it be?
I think it has something to do with the press conference ticket.
What is this?
On the night of the murder, after the stage show, Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special conference.
A press conference?
Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference.
I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right?
But what struck me as strange is that Mr. Ungard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. So it makes me wonder if he was going to dress up as him and be like, I'm the real Nickel Samurai or something.
Exactly. How could that be?
The way I see it, that can only mean one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Creed himself.
The victim?
Yes. The spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for the very conference. Mr. Creed was going to hold the conference as the Nickel Samurai.
Yeah, he was going to dress up as Nickel Samurai and hold a conference? But why would the victim do such a thing?
That's something I don't quite know yet. However...
Maybe he is, actually.
What I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at the conference.
Yeah, Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. But by confess, I wager he was going to reveal something about himself.
Which means that one Kurita, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt and Guard.
Yeah, I guess that's what it would mean. But if that's the case, that's not confession, that's public disclosure. Miss Andrews, I can see why you're proud at what you do. Pardon me. Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan. Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this. I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me. You? Juan had bet everything on the Jam and Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway. He was going to ruin him, huh? It looked like somehow Juan had it in his hands, a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed.
What?
I want to know. So I killed it. Do you know what the secret of Matt and Guards is, Miss Andrews? That's something only one knew. I don't know what it is. She's smirking. I see. I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone. Yes, that has to be accepted. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all.
Protect Mr. and Guard.
Yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light. Seems, Miss Andrews, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior. Yes, Your Honor. I understand. Fuck. Why protecting that bitch? From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill one no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him.
But you didn't have an alibi either.
Yeah, I know. This does count for everything. Not really. Well, I am the logical type. We're finally seeing her true self. She's more nervous than a scared rabbit. If the defense can find no fault with this testimony, I am ready to make a ruling. Please keep this in mind as your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Looks like somehow everything has swung into the opposite end of the scale again. That just means I have to put my weight into this and turn her logic upside down.
Yeah, because something's fishy. Also the card. Protecting him.
Okay.
Okay. Does it though?
You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. Fingerprints on the knife could very well be clever camouflage.
Then, what about the button?
The button?
Yeah, it's clear from the crime scene that the button that the victim, his murderer, fought. And during the fight, the killer ripped the button from the Gem Ninja's costume. You're talking about this button, correct? The button was found in the plates of Akama, isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence.
Ugh.
It's like you were out Fox again, Mr. Wright.
Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony.
I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat.
Thank goodness Mia can still look at me.
With an icy stare, yes. Sanders, for Wright's sake, please add this impression to your testimony. Fucker. That button was torn off of one during his fight with Matt. Okay.
There's something, hold on, I want to look at.
Yep. Suits. But he was strangled.
Strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife.
Do you want to be stabbed with a knife, Ichigo? Where are you?
Oh no.
He was literally just here.
This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf.
Strangulation? Strange.
The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died.
What does that mean?
Let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off of the costume when?
After the knife was stabbed into the victim.
Exactly, which means it's impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle. Because vroom vroom, the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There's no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off the victim's already dead body.
Mm-hmm. Order, what is this? What is the meaning of this, right? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died? What does that mean? That change?
Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did this serve?
What purpose?
We know that this button was not torn off during the fight. So the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it?
Mr. Wright, does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with the button? What was it? Where did he touch you with the button?
Where did the button touch you?
Yeah. But also, wouldn't you also take evidence as, like, to make it look like you did the murder, but didn't, so you would not take the fall? Ugh.
There's only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. Engard. There's no way anyone would put a bloody button in their own pants.
I don't know.
That's right, Mr. Engard was set up. By the real killer, Vroom Vroom, of course.
Yeah, the real murder is... Well, Mr. Wright, who is the world and the real killer?
Who's the real world? Finally. I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point.
Phoenix, you can't let your guard down. Not yet. Not until the very end.
The real killer, the person who planned to frame Mr. Engard is... I thought we already went through this.
Juan is the real killer.
God. Did he kill himself? Did he strangle himself? Was it erotic asphyxiation? Miss Adrian Andrews, I choose you! You and Mr. Kurita's killer!
What? She's gonna moan one day. Order, right? This is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge? Didn't it be already?
Any evidence?
All
of the evidence points to Miss Andrews.
How preposterous! You can't stick any of that on me.
I can't, can I? Would you care to test me?
Then what about this knife? What about it, son?
The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. Engard naturally. A knife covered in this defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. And the only person who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you.
Then... Oh, what? What about the button? What? That was found in Matsukama.
This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only person who could have done so were the person who found this body and or the killer. However, Mr. Engard was the real killer. There's no way he could have put such incriminating evidence in his own coma.
Okay.
The only person who could have put this into Mr. Engard's coma is the person who went to wake him from his nap, which is you, yet again, Mr. Andrews.
See, what about the empty guitar case? We don't even know this!
Yeah. This is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. The costume used to hide the real killer's identities as they fled the crime scene. Now, you could have known there was just such a costume inside the guitar case. It could have only been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Andrews.
No, But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case. It was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time. That's right.
That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out that she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left her fingerprints on the glass to show that yes, indeed. She was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body.
Yeah.
And to top it off, there's this photo. Photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on Earth can believe this nickel samurai is Mr. On Guard. He would be much too short for his own costume if it was him. Speaking of how tall people are...
How tall?
Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, aren't you not?
Please stop!
Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? You're very girly.
She got a moan.
I got there this time.
Miss Andrews. I refuse to testify.
What was that?
There's a law. I says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me. Incriminates. Well, yeah. You are absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination. But allowing a witness to not testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves.
Yeah, I feel like not testifying is kind of a way to say that you're guilty of something.
Yeah, I know. Pleading, yeah.
What? Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. Actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. On Guard's room.
Fingers. Adrian Andrews. Yes? Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? Alright.
That's it. That's when Francisca planted this idea in her head. He must have told Miss Andrews to not testify if things look bad.
You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. But there's still one thing you haven't done.
Something I haven't done?
What's wrong, Wright? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence? What is so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless.
What?
Everything he has proven is
circumstantial.
Circumstantial. It is also criminal.
Circumstantial?
Yeah, circumstantial. You have yet to prove a single piece of defense proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did, in fact, harbor a wish to murder Mr. Kurita. I mean, we have evidence, it's just...
We haven't shown it yet.
Miss Andrews, do you want to kill Mr. Kurita? I feel this may have led to me incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering. But Miss Andrews, if you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think? Maybe so. Or maybe not. There is nothing to prove if either way. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence.
No. She's talking... Wait, she's taking that defiant attitude again. Mia, what should we do?
Somehow, we have landed in the worst possible situation. Black. I think we have reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Miss Andrews has refused to testify. Okay, and the defense theory that she's the actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid defense proof. I mean, we have some.
But that's not true.
In this situation, there is only one thing that court can do. That is to declare a recess.
Recess?
I request that both the prosecution and the...
You turned into a robot. Okay, you gotta finish reading your thing because it cut you off.
Okay, so it did. I request that both the prosecution and the defendant look further into this matter. And at tomorrow's trial...
Tomorrow?
Yeah, bitch.
We don't have a tomorrow. If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then... Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial. Please continue the trial.
What are you sweating for? I thought he was on our side. I'm so confused. Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he?
That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I think you know who the real killer is.
Please. Let the trial continue. Oh, that's you.
Oh, let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya...
I can hear the kitties. But it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is... This is not impossible for this trial to continue. It is not... Yeah. What? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth, what are you... It's true Miss Andrews holds the right against her self-incrimination, however... If the topic of conversation... I really want tacos. Or something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony. Yeah, that is very true, but... Actually, there is one little thing that I'm curious about. Miss Andrews. You found the victim's dead body and you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yeah. Yes, and... I can't help but think how unnatural that is.
So now someone's saying it.
Usually one finds a body they were shaken, not stirring a glass of juice. So my actions were unusual, but I'm already... Before you speak, I want to say that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify to that effect. Testify? Your Honor, I would like to request that the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way incriminate the witness. Okay. Sweet. He's taking a nap. I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read off him. Is he a friend or foe? I just don't know. The court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, please, if you please. Gotta speak to myself. The glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in that messy state. And when he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice. When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over.
That still doesn't...
So you poured that glass of juice for the victim? She's lying.
Yeah.
Why did you say no so in your earlier testimony? Exactly. I didn't think I needed to include something so trivial. Phoenix, please be careful here. If you can't find anything wrong with his testimony, then there's nothing left.
I know. Edgeworth, what in the hell is going on in that brain of yours?
None. That's right. You may begin your cross-examination.
When you found the baby. The baby.
Sound like Cartman for a second.
I found the baby. God. Okay. A surprise when I walked in the room. Then one, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. But he wasn't in the corner, was he?
Yeah. He was right by his... kind of in the middle. I mean...
Yeah. He was on the side, but I don't think he was in the corner.
No, it's like, what corner?
Slumped over?
Yeah, he was just sitting there with his his head tilted forward, with the eyes closed. Because he was dead. He really looked like he was asleep.
Just near, did that sound a little odd? To be honest, I thought he had just finished something, so I went to pour him some juice. Drink. Oh, okay. And how did you come to realize that he was in fact dead?
I shook him over and over, but I never got a response. So I set the glass down on the dresser and tried to take his pulse. I was shocked and started backward. Yeah, and knocked the flower vase over, so that's what happened. Did he get his answer? Yes. This is what it all comes down to.
Huh?
This is the absolute end for both sides, and the jury is letting her guard down. Phoenix, now is our best chance yet to kill the prosecution's case.
Isn't that a bit harsh? Well, Miss Andrews, will you tell us the truth this time? I mean, I guess he was kinda in the corner, but not entirely.
Yeah.
So you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him?
No, not at all.
Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the meaning of this?
Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There's a knife stuck straight out of Miss Karita's chest. Anyone who saw this would have immediately thought there was a dead man.
Well, you see...
Not a single person that would take the mistake for someone who fainted. And then so nonchalantly go pour her something to drink.
You're a psychopath. Your point is?
Miss Andrews, your testimony just now, it was all just one giant lie. And your lie has proven one thing very clearly. You have multiple glasses on you. That you are the real killer.
Don't look at me! No!
Cut you off.
Of course it did! It looks like the defendant has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Mayengard, is not guilty after all. But that's impossible, you're wrong. Miss Andrews, try to have some composure. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt, I swear. He's the one who killed Juan.
But you were the one who refused to testify, and your reason for not doing so is that you might end up incriminating yourself.
That's because... Miss Andrews, I'll give you one last chance. But exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you? I refuse to testify. Is it because of the... Then there's no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Matt Engard's innocent has been clearly demonstrated. Jesus.
Is it over? Have we found the truth at last?
No. What's wrong, Phoenix?
Usually the real killer confesses his or her guilt. And now that I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't.
Now then, I'd like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Mattengard.
Son of a bitch.
Yep, Your Honor. The prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time. What? The reason is quite simple. The witness has yet to speak the absolute real truth. I'm concerned. The absolute truth? Nothing but the real truth? Or what are you? Witness, don't you understand yet? Uh-huh. I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head, but as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Mattengard will go free in his place, you will become the guilty party. That's a lie. I don't believe you. What? I was told if I spoke, then it would be all over and Matt would never be declared guilty.
What in the world is she talking about? Has she lost it?
I can't speak about it. I'm too scared. It's from yourself on Karma.
Huh.
Don't you remember, Phoenix? Miss Andrews lies by gripping tightly onto the words of another. Because she doesn't have a strength to believe in herself. Right.
And right now, Miss Andrews is...
Yesterday, she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss Von Karma. Don't say a word no matter what happens. If you do, Mattengard will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undoubtedly believes in these words right now and is clinging onto them.
Then what should we do? This is the first time I've ever come across anything like this. But Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? All we have to do now is get her not guilty. That's my only priority.
It was me, I'm begging you, please believe me. I didn't kill one. Help, please. Someone, help me. Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
The court can't continue on like this, therefore I'd like to hear what you intend to do.
What I intend to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say?
Right, I suggest you think very carefully about this. Think about what this witness did and what she didn't not do. And think about who is the real mastermind behind this crime.
Who's the real mastermind? Isn't that obvious? There's no one else it could be except the woman crying over there, right?
Come now, what will you do? What kind of man are you, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
I feel like there's more.
Yeah. She's hiding something.
I have to win a complete acquittal today. There's no way around that. But I can't bring myself to do it like this, not when she's making a face like that. Sanders, I'd like to know what you are really hiding.
Mr. Phoenix, are you sure you want to know what you're doing?
Sure, Mr. Guard would get an acquittal, but in his place, you would be found guilty. Is this how you really want to end this trial?
Be quiet! How dare you! You're trying to trick me! I mean, you're tricking yourself. That's enough. I commend you. For crime, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clear that the defense theory is the truth. You're wrong. What a shame. I had hoped things wouldn't come to this. However, what is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refused to testify, it falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court. Stop! Mr. Edgeworth. This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness? What? And because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past. Don't, please stop! No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here.
That's the second part of the suicide report, the attempted suicide report.
Well, you do now, witness. You know what I'm about to do, don't you? I'll now reveal to the court the true nature of the beautiful woman known as Adrian Andrews.
The secret of her dependent nature. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world.
Please stop! I beg you. If people find out, I'll... What, kill yourself?
God.
If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me.
Edgeworth, how can you be so cold?
However, before you die, I will pull the truth through your little, still breathing lips. No matter what I have to do. So will you tell the truth, court, yourself, or shall I? Either's fine with me. I'll talk, but please, help me. Little Jubes. Nothing matters anymore. My crime. When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted, honest. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then, I stabbed one dead body with a knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of inconvenience, and that's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume.
Okay then.
Stab the butt with the knife? But why would you do that? Isn't obvious to pin the blame on a certain person. A certain cowardly man. What do you mean by all this? You might take this court a little while to understand, but this is the truth. The real killer is Matt. That scumbag of a man, I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time.
Last time.
So, Miss Andrews stabbed the victim, Juanita, in the chest with the knife. However, she didn't do it with murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Vanguard for the murder. And this is her crime.
What? How is this possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer?
Mr. Wright, please get your shock and cross-examination. Oh my god.
Okay. But you could tell from the state of the room within, there must have been a fight. Are you telling the truth when you say you did not know he was dead?
He had a scarf tied around his neck. But that scarf is part of the Gem Ninja's costume, so I didn't think anything about it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face that well. That's why I thought I'd wake him up and went to pour the juice.
Okay. What is this plan you had?
I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because one, he was going to expose Matt's weakest weak point to the world. So Matt did this to stop one and silence him for good. That's when I thought I should forge some evidence and pin this as crime on Matt. So the forged up pieces of evidence were the knife and button. The first thing that came to mind was to plant the knife.
Okay. But there was someone in the hallway, so I'm concerned about that. That was so you could get the knife, correct?
The knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it. I thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. Matt was napping with his costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned to the scene of the crime.
So you were the one to stab the victim with the knife.
It gives me goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. Unless she was possessed. Then, when I stabbed one's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I used the button somehow, I could make Matt even more suspect. More suspect. So, you thought to rip one of the buttons off and then plant it in Mr. Ringard's head. Yeah, that's what I had planned to do. But things never go that smoothly, do they?
Okay. An inconvenience.
There was a woman with a camera at the ready, loitering in the hallway.
I am willing to bet my spikes it was Lotta.
There was also a woman with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth.
It's Miss Oldbag for you.
I'd already been caught, made it into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once. So I couldn't really go out looking like myself and get caught again.
You were the one who prepared the costume, weren't you?
Yeah, I took it from Global Studios. I had still put it into one guitar case in the day before the award ceremony. You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct? Yeah, Juan wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. He was going to disclose Matt's big secret there. Yeah, what is the secret? That... I don't know. Anyway, I thought if I were to leave Juan's room in Nickel Samurai's costume, then people would think that Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume. I think you've heard enough. So, after that, you went back to Mr. Ringard's room and planted the button? Intimates. Yes. After that, I filled up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. Then I snuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it. My word. What does all this mean? It's Redworth, is it? The real criminal is Matt and Guard. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor set me down for a talk.
Francisca, huh?
She said that I should, under no circumstance, confess to what I had done. That if I just kept quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words. What it has done is clearly unlawful. However, as long as her testimony stands, you can be certain she's not the real killer.
Wait, Your Honor, I keep zoning out.
Right.
Left.
It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indicate Miss Andrews on anything. Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. The cross-examination of this witness is over, and so today's trial, you can't establish that the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright. He can't.
But...
Mr. Edgeworth, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning. Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange her for detention immediately. That is all. Court is adjourned for today.
Yeah,
He just really fucking. That is a nice scene. He just really fucking want to leave. Oh, he's having crisis.
He is. Today's trial is over. I didn't win an acquittal.
Yeah, but Maya's okay. Witness, would you mind if I asked you something?
Edgeworth.
What is it? Before you leave the court today, I wonder if I might look at one thing. The card in your hand, it has my interest for quite some time now. Sam! What exactly is it? Oh, this? Mr. Wright also asked about this. Although I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remember just now. I found this in the room on that day.
The room?
That day? Yes. I found this card when I was discovered on his body. It was laying there, right next to him.
You found that card next to the victim's body.
I suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. But it's not as if this card has any of it relevance to Juan's murder, right? I think it does.
Yeah, I guess not, but it's still a strange card if you ask me.
Hello, Luna.
But as far as a clue to this case, I don't see why.
Witness the card! Give it to me, hurry up!
Edgeworth.
Do you have any idea what you have stupidly yet done? This. Can't believe you hid this from me all this time. I didn't mean to. What is this all about?
Never seen Edgeworth so emotional before.
I mean, we have, but okay.
That card, what in the world is it, and what does it mean? Where did it go? Who's Cotton Eye Joe?